A man who lives alone without a girlfriend is not a man who is missing something. He is a man who is being prepared for something. There is a difference. And when you understand that difference, you stop seeing loneliness as a punishment and start recognizing it as training ground. You begin to realize that solitude is not silence. It is instruction. Life will speak to you in a quieter voice when you stand alone, but the quieter the voice, the deeper the message. And some of the most powerful men in history, some of the most disciplined men you've ever heard about, were shaped in seasons of isolation, long before anyone ever knew their names. There's a moment in every man's life when the world steps back, and he steps forward into a space that is empty, not because he is abandoned, but because he is being refined. You don't build strength in a crowd. You don't build character with constant comfort. You build it in the quiet hours that nobody sees. The hours when you wake up and there's nobody to impress, nobody to applaud, nobody to validate your worth. Just you, the mirror, the silence, and the truth. And that truth asks you, who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when the only voice in your life is your own? A man who lives alone learns to confront himself in ways the world will never teach him. He learns to see his flaws, not hide them. He learns to correct his path, not blame someone else for walking the wrong direction. He learns to appreciate companionship not because he needs someone to fill his emptiness, but because he wants someone to walk with him through his fullness. There's a powerful difference between wanting someone and needing someone. One comes from strength, the other from fear. A man who rises from solitude rises with strength. And let me tell you something many people don't want to hear. A man without distractions becomes dangerous. Not dangerous to others, dangerous to his limitations, dangerous to his excuses, dangerous to the version of himself that society told him to settle for. When you're alone, when you have time to think, time to plan, time to work, you start tearing down the walls of mediocrity that have been stacked around you your whole life. You start realizing you don't have to be who the world expected you to be. You can be who you choose to become. You start waking up earlier. You start moving differently. You stop wasting time. You stop chasing what doesn't matter. You stop looking for validation in the eyes of people who don't even value themselves. A man who lives alone and learns to master solitude becomes the kind of man who enters a room and changes it without saying a word. His presence speaks. His silence speaks. His discipline speaks. That kind of man doesn't chase love. Love gravitates to him. He doesn't beg for respect. Respect grows wherever he stands. People ask, don't you get lonely? Of course you do. Every human being does. But loneliness is not a signal that something is wrong. It is a signal that something is being built. You think discipline feels good at the beginning. It doesn't. It feels like loneliness. You think purpose is comfortable at first. It isn't. It feels like isolation. You think growth is glamorous. It isn't. It looks like sitting in a room, staying quiet, sharpening your mind while the world wonders what you're doing with yourself. But when your time comes, those same people who questioned you will say they always believed in you. You must learn to endure the seasons that are meant to elevate you. Sometimes God, life, the universe, whatever name you give to that force, removes every distraction from your life, not because you're being punished, but because you're being positioned. You're being shaped. You're being prepared for something bigger than the conversations you're not having, bigger than the relationships you're not in, bigger than the affection you're not receiving. You are being prepared to become a man who is rooted in himself, steady in himself, complete in himself, so that when the right person enters your life, you don't crumble under the weight of their expectation. Because let me tell you something, if you cannot stand alone, you will not stand beside someone else. If you cannot build your own foundation, you will not hold up anyone else's house. If you cannot create your own identity, you will lose yourself the moment love enters the room. So a man who lives alone is not behind, he is ahead. He is laying bricks today so his future won't collapse tomorrow. He is not running from love. He is preparing for the day he can love without losing who he is. There's a kind of confidence that solitude teaches you that nothing else can. When you walk into a home that you pay for, when you open a fridge that you filled, when you sit at a table that you built, not figuratively, literally or metaphorically, but spiritually, you start taking ownership of your life in a way that changes your posture. You stop slouching. You stand taller. You talk with intention. You carry yourself with purpose. Because everything in your life is a reflection of the work you put in when nobody was around. You want to know the truth? A man who has learned to live alone has one of the deepest relationships a human being can have, the relationship with himself. He knows what he likes, what he can't tolerate, what drives him, what kills his energy, what fuels his passion. He knows what kind of woman he wants and what kind of woman he should stay away from. He knows the difference between chemistry and compatibility. He knows the difference between loneliness and peace. Not every quiet room is empty. Some are full of peace. There is a world of men who rush into relationships not because they're ready, but because they fear the silence. They're uncomfortable with their own thoughts. They're afraid to sit still, afraid to look in the mirror, afraid to face the truth of their discipline, their habits, their weaknesses, afraid to build themselves, afraid to grow. But if you're a man who has chosen, or who has been guided, to live alone in this season of life, then you're not running from yourself. You're meeting yourself. And that meeting will change everything. People may not understand your lifestyle. They will look at you and say, "Why don't you settle down?" They will say, "Why don't you find someone?" But what they don't understand is that some men are not settling. They are preparing. They are laying the groundwork for a life that will not break under pressure. A life that will not wobble when storms come. A life that will not fall apart. When responsibilities arrive, you don't rush greatness. You don't sprint into legacy. You build it brick by brick, moment by moment, season by season. And solitude is one of the most important seasons a man will ever experience. When you live alone, you learn how to protect your energy. You learn how to say no. You learn how to choose peace over chaos. You stop entertaining people who drain you, relationships that distract you, environments that fail you. You become selective, not because you are arrogant, but because you are aware. A man who is aware is a man who is powerful. He is careful with his time, careful with his habits, careful with his relationships. He is intentional, and I want you to hear something very clearly. A man who has been taught by solitude becomes a man who cannot be broken by society. They can judge him, mock him, misunderstand him, but they cannot shake him. Because you cannot shake a man who built himself. You cannot destroy a man who rebuilt himself in silence. You cannot distract a man who knows where he is going. You cannot confuse a man who knows what he wants. A man like that doesn't need applause to keep moving. He claps for himself. He motivates himself. His discipline is his companion. His purpose is his ally. This world teaches men that they need someone to complete them. But a man who lives alone learns that completion is not something you find in another person. It is something you build within yourself. And only when you've completed that internal structure are you truly ready to share your life with someone else. You learn patience. You learn emotional control. You learn financial discipline. You learn self-respect. You learn self-command. These are not gifts you acquire by chance. These are muscles you build through repetition, sacrifice, and reflection. Every night you sleep alone teaches you something. It teaches you how to be emotionally independent, how to be mentally resilient, how to be spiritually grounded, how to be physically disciplined. You learn how to cook, how to clean, how to manage your space, how to manage your life. These may sound small, but these are the skills that build strong men. These are the skills that create reliable men. These are the skills that form the backbone of families, relationships, communities. A man who can take care of himself becomes a man who can take care of others. Look around this world. Truly look, and you will see that most people are uncomfortable with themselves. They avoid silence because silence reveals truth. They avoid being alone because being alone forces them to confront the life they've been pretending to live. But the man who chooses solitude willingly is not running. He is rising. He is climbing. He is elevating. He is escaping mediocrity. When you learn how to be alone, you learn how to build a life that no one can take from you. Because everything you become in solitude stays with you everywhere you go. There will come a day when everything you've built in this quiet season will reveal itself. Your discipline will show. Your peace will show. Your confidence will show. Your maturity will show. Your wisdom will show. Your presence will change people. The way you move will inspire. The way you think will shift the people around you. That is the gift of solitude. It transforms you silently so that you can lead loudly. And when the right person eventually crosses your path, if that is part of your destiny, they will not meet a man who is waiting in desperation. They will meet a man who is preparing in discipline. A man who isn't seeking someone to fix him, but someone to join him. A man who isn't offering broken pieces of himself, but a complete version of himself. A man who understands love because he first learned to love himself. A man who lives alone without a girlfriend is not lacking love, he is learning love. Because the first love a man must ever master is the love of his own existence, the love of his own purpose, the love of his own journey. When you understand this, when you embrace this, you stop apologizing for your solitude. You stop explaining your choices. You stop justifying your lifestyle. Because not everyone will understand, and they don't need to. What they call loneliness, you call preparation. What they call isolation, you call training. What they call lack, you call growth. What they call empty, you call peace. A man who sees solitude as elevation becomes unstoppable. He becomes a man with direction, a man with clarity, a man with internal stability. And when a man reaches that level, he doesn't fear being alone. He respects it. He protects it. He uses it. Because he knows that the most dangerous man in the world is the man who has mastered himself. And if you are in that season now, if you're living alone, learning, growing, reflecting, building, don't rush out of it. Don't let the noise of the world convince you that you are behind. Don't let society tell you that your worth is measured by who lies next to you at night. No, your worth is measured by who you become when you rise in the morning. By how you treat yourself, by how you treat others, by the standards you set, by the mission you follow, by the legacy you build. And you build that legacy day by day, hour by hour, choice by choice, in the quiet rooms no one sees. A man who lives alone is not waiting for life to happen. He is creating the life he will eventually share. He is mastering patience. He is mastering consistency. He is mastering humility. He is mastering ambition. Because ambition without discipline is chaos, and discipline without solitude is impossible. So if life has placed you in solitude, understand, you are being crafted. You are being chiseled. You are being prepared for a chapter that requires a version of you that you have not yet fully met. So listen to me now. Stand tall in this season. Stand strong. Stand awake. The world may not see your work, but the world will feel your results. Every man who has ever achieved anything extraordinary has walked through a season where he had nothing but a dream, a plan, and the silence necessary to build both. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not empty. You are becoming. And the man you are becoming will change everything.